haze if I pick up the phone. She acting up, I start acting alone. Wake up one morning and that bitch was gone. We not in Kansas like Patrick Mahomes. Over the rainbow and back in the two flat. The witches is too flat, they shot at they bones. The house is too heavy, the wrist is too heavy. My brother heavy, he's stacking the stone. Play money marrow is back in my bones. I'm back in the yo like it's back in the day. My city a riot, I go on a diet. But if I keep eating, I'll have a parade. I'm on the 9, I'm having a race. If I got the Bentley, we having a race. I'm slamming the jakes and stacking the rakes. We going to prison and opening gates. Closing the precinct can't open a case. I'm cracking the code and open the safe. My brothers and sisters, I sat and I thought and I flew in a rush and I soaked in a lake. People were scattered, the leaders was flattered and hidden in neo-colonial states. You cannot get out this by owning a school. You cannot get out this by owning a place. Body, the 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 head. I'm part of the body, I'm part of the problem. I'm part of my body, I'm part of the red. Body, the 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 head. The sea get too choppy, the people get wacky in Israel salty, the water is dead.
I'm burning. Molly, I'm burning.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 57 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition. We are here with our HBCU segment. I am your co-host, Reggie, and that is my friend over there.
I have a joke about the court coming out. There's a pull-out joke right there, but I won't say it because that is way too obvious.
So
but I'm back. Name? Like I never left.
Who are you?
I am your favorite co-host, Chris Norwood. I'm thrilled to be here on episode 57, titled Juneteenth Ice Cream. If you can go out to any of your neighboring Walmart stores and get you some Juneteenth ice cream, if you could do us a solid, man, go to your Walmart, take a picture, tag us. We want to see it in your hand with the ice cream, celebrating Juneteenth. Do us a solid and do that, man. Go out right now.
They made that crap.
We'll post you on Instagram.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, with the Around the League edition, we have our HBCU news around the culture. We have our NBA news around the league, football news around the league, and we round it all out with splashes of the week. We are now going to jump into our favorite segment of the entire podcast, HBCU news around the culture, where we got a few things we're going to talk about today. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Shout out to the Howard University women's softball team for winning their first MEAC title since 2007.
Congratulations. We don't really typically congratulate the Bisons here, but a win is a win is a win. If we didn't congratulate them, y'all call us haters, and that's what we would be. And my mama raised me better than that. Congratulations to you guys.
And if you look at it, they were up 5-4, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, which is equivalent to bottom of the 9th, and had runners in scoring position, and she struck her out to win the game. So Howard is your MEAC 2007 MEAC champions. So shout out to Howard.
That heat, my mind. Way to go. Okay, I like it.
In other HBCU news, we have had, and when I say we are both college graduates of HBCUs, Hampton University, Hampton and Southern University. So make sure you understand that we grew up in this HBCU culture. We're indoctrinated in it. We have both of our family members, ironically, went to South Carolina State University.
Hey, Ma.
Hey, love you, big mama. My dad pretty much grew up on South Carolina State University, so we love this segment. 37 players have been drafted or signed as free agents. With 4 drafted.
Repeat that.
37 HBCU graduates or alumni or former players have been selected in the draft 4, or signed as an NFL free agent 12, or invited to an NFL rookie camp to even get the opportunity. For y'all that don't understand, and y'all that are watching that don't understand why this is a big deal, let me explain it to you. So it's a big deal because so often than not, HBCUs, your small, even I won't even say your smaller other schools. I'm just going to only say HBCUs do not get the recognition that they deserve. And outside of February, they really don't ever talk about HBCUs with pertaining to the history of sports, especially football. Now, February, they're gonna talk about Jerry, they're gonna talk about Eddie Robb, but they only gonna do it during February. Walter Payton. I mean, you can keep Mel Blount, Aeneas Williams, Michael Strahan, Steve McNair. You could keep going. You could keep going. But the fact
also,
that 37,
he's been considered the most underrated quarterback in NFL history, and I'm willing to believe it.
Steve McNair.
Yep, I was reading that yesterday.
Is he? I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Still vastly underrated.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue and say no, he's not underrated. Hey, he's underrated.
Appreciate
y'all need to rate him. Well, I mean,
get on out of there. I'm gonna put you over there with Juneteenth ice cream. Pick your poison. You're gonna be somewhere.
But anyway, the importance of having 37 players either drafted, selected, or signed is a huge deal, because there's been stepping stones and steps that have gone on behind the scenes to even get to this point. Before, and I'm talking about before Dion. I'm talking about before ESPN3, before they were getting all that ESPN3. They were actually, and when I say they, HBCUs and some of the black executives in ESPN and a part of these sports major networks were actually talking about trying to get more exposure to HBCUs. I have long said, and don't get mad at me for the people that went to schools like this, I don't care, honestly, but if you do or don't, but this is how I feel. And I feel this way because I know I'm right. There's no way when you have that many HBCUs in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, North Carolina. You got all these HBCUs all throughout our country, and you from Florida, and you accept a college scholarship to play at Montana or Wyoming instead of accepting a scholarship to go to FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, or one of these HBCUs. And the reason it was happening is because Montana, North Dakota State, South Dakota, all Delaware are getting all the TV exposure. Nobody wants to, I'm not going to say nobody wants to see them. Our fan base don't want to see them. So what I couldn't understand was, like, why aren't we getting the same exposure? And then you give somebody like Dion, who has all of the backing from Barstool Sports, all of the exposure, all of the personality, and he sheds a light on everything that we have been saying for a long time. So the fact that we got 37 players in one class, 37 HBCU players in one class got an opportunity to go to the NFL. That is not done without all of the stepping stones and all of the building blocks that have gone on. It's just Dion and Eddie George and Hugh Jackson and all of that are at the most recent step. But all of this has been a culmination of this, and is only going to grow even more because you see all these players that are transferring back. We started naming all of these players transferring back to HBCUs from other colleges because it was like 1 and 2, but it's like 4 or 5 every day now. Like, they're leaving, especially now that they can get paid legally.
Yeah. I mean, do you really want to? It's a personal question. You got to ask, hey, do I want to sit as a third stringer at Bama and maybe wait 2 or 3 years and maybe get a shot and hope that there's no, recruit that comes in and is earth shattering and then never get a chance to actually put, cleats on the grass? Or do I want to go somewhere where I can play?
And I think that's a really, really good point. Even though I wasn't talking about Bama per se, because that's like saying your kid gets a scholarship to an HBCU but then gets into MIT. Like, well, all right. You cannot go. But what I'm saying is, go ahead.
The reason I don't want to use that is everybody can get an education. They're not going to just you make the grades, you fine. There are only 11 spots on offense, 11 spots on defense, and then rotational players. You could be very good and just not be in the rotation. It's just a little bit different. It's just scarcity because of the
Why go to Wyoming? No shade to people from Wyoming and all of that, but there's
Go
no
Cowboys.
reason. I mean, you got Josh Allen, but there's no reason. Well, we had Brian Hill, who's actually, why do I know that? He played for the Falcons and he went to Wyoming. But there's no reason that you should transfer from Bama to middle of nowhere college when you have Alabama State, you have Alabama A&M. If you're from wherever most black people live in the South and Midwest, right? And if you don't live there, you have family that lives there is from there. So it's not like you're going away. You're going to have somebody to look out for you wherever HBCU you go to, more than likely if you're African American. It's going to happen. So there's no reason for you to leave where you're from and go to middle of nowhere. I don't agree with it.
It's
personally.
just,
I don't care if you don't like it. Not you.
It's just for me, it's just the opportunity that, you know, historically black colleges take care of their students. You know, if you go to a PWI, it's not that same level of let me stop and have a 45-minute hour conversation with a person who I've never met in my life who just happens to go to my school. Just to me, it's just different.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So shout out to all the HBCU players, especially, and not especially meaning he's better than anybody else. It's just that his opportunity right now is front and center. So Felix Harper, if you've been watching HBCU football, you know that Alcorn State and Prairie View and Jackson State were pretty much, well, FAMU too, now that they came into the SWAC. But those 4 schools were pretty much battling it out for the SWAC. Southern University too. But every year it'd be Alcorn State or Prairie View. Alcorn State's quarterback is a record-setting quarterback. I'm going to say that again. The reason I say Alcorn State's quarterback is a record-setting quarterback is because the man that we just said was criminally underrated went to Alcorn State as well, named Steve McNair. Right. So to break Steve Eric McNair's record, and at Prairie View, at Alcorn, is a big deal. He went undrafted, but he did get signed to a rookie free agent deal, and you guys already know what's going on in Cleveland. They went from having one quarterback to 2 quarterbacks that both don't want to, one can't play and one don't want to play, or you could say both can't play for different reasons. Either way, but so they have like Jacoby Brissett, and they have a lot of other quarterback. They have a couple other quarterbacks that were more backups and fill-ins. And according to reports, Alcorn State quarterback Felix Harper is on track to get significant playing time in the preseason, possibly starting while Deshaun Watson is out. He said, and I quote, go ahead, finish. It's really history. I want to show quarterbacks that there's hope and to believe it's possible to make it out of an HBCU.
Yeah, for me, if you haven't had an opportunity yet, please go check out the Cleveland Browns quarterback room, their depth chart. You will find something very unique about their depth chart. All the quarterbacks. Oh, it's a blacks only quarterback room. Let me just say what it is. And the only guy who is in the quarterback room is the guy who's out of there.
He does not want to be there, boy. But Baker Mayfield, I don't like it either.
At this point, brother. Peace out. From what I've read, he seems to be untradeable. Cleveland is even asking to eat a large portion of his salary, still can't trade him. They are very clear about what type of guy they're looking for. They're looking for athletic guys who can fill in for Deshaun Watson in case of an injury, but also in case of pending suspension that we expect.
They want somebody that can throw on the run, which is what he was very successful at, and he also ran the spread, and they got a lot of weapons over there in Cleveland. So he fits in very, very, very well. Baker Mayfield, whatever. Peace out.
Ooh, boy. And the bad part is, and I'm not gonna say the bad part, Baker is better than some of the guys who are starting. Daniel Jones, I don't know who's starting right now for Carolina. He's better than that guy.
Marcus Mariota.
Zach. Huh?
Marcus Mariota.
I gotta see.
Tripping.
I gotta see.
Tripping.
Who else? Zachary Taylor.
I don't like
with the
Baker
New York-
Mayfield, but you tripping on that. He's definitely better than them.
The ass Odell. Oh damn! Excuse me, is what they should call him after the way. Oh damn, Baker.
Oh damn, Baker. They showed that montage of him throwing passes last year. I was like, God.
Oh, look, that's why we here for the rest. And this is HBCU time. So let's go ahead and shout out two fantastic black dads once again. LeVar Ball doing what he was supposed to, and Odell's dad. Black dad. We support who? Black dads.
Black dads, man. Black dads. So shout out to everybody that's been drafted. Shout out to Felix Harper, man. Y'all make sure when preseason starts, and we're definitely gonna remind y'all. We're also there were about 5 or 6 stories that came in today of HBCU players that unfortunately did not get the ability or the opportunity in NFL are getting scooped up left and right for the Canadian Football League. So they are now going to the Canadian Football League. Also, the USFL is signing players, and the Fan-Controlled Football League is also signing players. So there's a lot of opportunity going around, and HBCU players are taking advantage of it. And what you're going to start to see is what you saw back. A lot of y'all might not know, and it's a little bit before our time, but we've seen the clips on it. A lot of it happened in the 80s when Donald Trump was part of it, was an owner in the USFL. In the USFL, you thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you?
I don't know where you going with that, brother Reginald. But
in the USFL, they had Herschel Walker, they had Steve Young, Jim McMahon, Warren Moon. Warren Moon was in the Canadian football because they wouldn't let him play quarterback at first. Can you imagine if he just went to the NFL straight out of college? He would own almost every passing record known to man.
That's another person who's vastly underrated and my personal favorite quarterback of all time.
He's probably now. You said, well, we're here now. We're gonna spiral a little bit. You said Alcorn State quarterback Steve McNair was the most underrated quarterback. That one right there may have him beat. Steve McNair had more success. Steve McNair had more success. That's why I would say it's Steve McNair, because he went all the way to the Super Bowls. Then he literally
wasted
yard
one
of
full
winning.
time.
Yeah, and then when he came back as an old man, he still threw for 4,000 yards when you only could run when you ran the ball mostly.
With an impressive mustache.
I felt like his mustache was him conforming. Like, let me see if I can get no goatee, just mustache.
That was the look at that time. That was a look.
Handlebars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whiskas.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, we've come to the end of the HBCU segment. We actually did an HBCU segment where we did not profile Dion. Told y'all we could do it for now.
Gotcha. He'll be back next week. This is the Dion.
He'll be back next week, bruh. But anyway, man, y'all make sure y'all keep track of the HBCU players that are playing. I am on record saying that there are going to be at least 5 HBCU players that in this draft that will be starters within the next 2 to 3 years. So this is on tape now. It's out there. So we can come back and reference this, man. Y'all make sure y'all support the culture. Felix Harper is doing his thing. Shout out to Howard again, winning the MEAC softball championship. I believe the SWAC championship is soon. So we'll be reporting on that for softball as well. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to jump to our basketball segment where we got a lot to talk about, including defense. What do you know? Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
Come on, bring your ass, Reggie. Bring it.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 57 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. I'm going to let y'all know right now, your boy is running on fumes. This is all adrenaline.
I'm running on fumes, too.
but I ain't got to get up in the morning, so we will definitely be pouring up as soon as this segment is over because I did not pour up. I did not come prepared. So, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. If you listen to Saturday Morning Live, there was,
and we know you do.
We know y'all listening. Yeah, we saw y'all. There was an ass kicking that happened on Saturday Morning Live when it came to defense and Luka Doncic. It was an ass kicking, verbal thrashing, if you will. And
come on,
we are now here. We are now here to talk about what's going on. So let's start off with the Western Le Conference Le Finals. So that was me putting Negro French on it, but why you look like you scared?
Because I'm afraid of you.
Anyway, man, but I do want to do this before we get into all of the before we get into the banter. Shout out to, and there is gonna be a Reggie Quickscope after this, by the way. I'm letting y'all know now. It's gonna happen. Shout out to Reggie Bullock.
Akimbo. Oh yeah,
Reggie.
I know it is.
Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Violence. Reggie on Reggie Violence.
Reggie Bullock received the Social Justice Champion of the Year. He was a finalist. He actually got the award for Social Justice Champion of the Year. He works in many communities across the nation, but definitely in North Carolina as well as in Dallas. And he was working in New York as well. When he was in New York, working with inner city youth, underprivileged kids, as well as working with school systems to stop bullying, as well as create change in our communities. So shout out to Reggie Bullock for volunteering his time and services for free to impact everyone in and around his community. He gets paid nothing. He does, though, get paid a lot of money to play basketball. And he had the rare quintuple zero. Mm-hmm. He went 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 free throws, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 for 7 from 3, 0 for 10 from the field, and a whole lot of embarrassment. But he wasn't the only one. So,
first of all, we affectionately call these games Tony Snell games, aka cardio games, where you actually don't do anything. You just basically run around the whole game and just be out there. You didn't get any points, no assists, no rebounds. You just passing the ball, passing somebody else. What you doing? No, passing somebody else.
So I said this. So one of our friends was in town. Shout out to Worthy. Worthy was in town, and I always give him a lot of flack because he is a Knicks fan from Alabama, and it's important that I say from Alabama. That means he chose.
I mean, they ain't got no team. They ain't got no team.
Well, yeah, but you chose the Knicks. Okay, so
you could have chose the Bulls or somebody at the. I respect the person.
He said. I mean, that's like saying I picked the Clippers instead of the Lakers. You know, it is, or the Jets instead of the Giants. You know.
I mean, no, picking either one of them. Hey, look, this is bad. This is worse. Pick one. Daniel Jones or Zachary Taylor Thomas. Trash.
But what I said about Bullock, though, I said Bullock is king of making non-consequential shots, right? Reggie Bullock is never going to hit a three to put you up by 1, put you up by 2, or put you up by 3. He's never going to hit a three to bring you to tie the game or bring you within 1 or bring you within 2 on a run. Reggie Bullock is only going to hit a three when you're up 10 or down 10, when it don't matter at all. Case in point, Knicks Hawks. Case in point, yesterday.
Case in point, his entire career.
I'm about to say his entire career. He was, and I'm sure y'all know that can't be right. They can't go back. Don't even go back. Just watch moving forward and listen. I understand y'all. Some of y'all came at me on Instagram saying, "Well, you got all a lot to stake for somebody that didn't play basketball." You damn right. I know I can go one for something. One for something. I could go one for something.
You can't tell me I can't at least get 8 points.
No, I can't get. They're literally giants. I can't get 8 points, but I can
you're
go
not
out there.
stopping.
I can pull a Kyle Lowry and flop on the floor and get a free throw. I can do that.
Boy, talk about most punchable players.
Man, Kyle, that's why I got mad when we were talking in the HBC segment. He just literally did the same thing against Boston, even though they're down by 30.
Yes. Reggie Bullock. What the hell are you doing, bro?
Passing the time.
Literally.
Staying in shape.
Pass. I'm in great shape, though. Great shape. I won't have to worry about. He's one of those guys that won't have to worry about after season. Like, I'm exhausted. Nah. Nope. Life for me doesn't really change. I don't be around the guys as much. That's it, though. I just run it anyway.
This series is what? It's 3-0.
Don't worry about it. He will be going to another team at the end of this season. Just know that there are 3 guys on this team that you may end up keeping, and I say you keep 2 and let Jalen Brunson walk because I'm not overpaying him. I'll probably keep Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka. Everybody else, gather your things. You will not be coming back this way again. You have tried out. You would not make the cut. And I would say we wish you the best of luck, but our star player has basically done everything for this team, and you guys have stood in the corner and watched. I don't even really wish you good luck. I just don't wish you any bad luck.
And everything but play defense. But the game 3 score was 109-100.
Says
Steph
the
Curry,
guy who's the point guard with the highest defensive rating in the NBA. So he plays no defense.
31 and 11 and 5 for Steph Curry, out there balling. Had a lot to say to Luka. Luka was talking a little bit of noise at first because they started off hot, and then Steph said, again, I keep telling people, you don't want to play this game of Golden State. To beat Golden State, you need to play defense and go to the hole. Trying to shoot threes and outshoot Golden State will get you down 3-0 in a series in the Western Conference Finals. That's what happens. But let's what?
Wait, hold on.
Since you want to talk about Luka's defense, let's watch Luka. Let's watch Luka play defense real quick, y'all. Let's watch Luka play defense. It's right here.
Show it.
So look at that. Look. Shut your ass up. Don't worry. It's on a loop. It's gonna replay. There it is. Oh. Shout. Woo. Woo.
Hey.
Woo.
Hey.
And let me tell you something. Before no, you can't. Let me say, right there, I ain't never seen nobody flop in midair. He flopped in midair. Midair. No, you would have.
Baptized. Hey, anything other than I just got dunked on, yeah, he punched me in my face, kicked me in my nose, bit me, whatever it is. I don't blame him. I'm going to tell you 2 things that I liked about this. Most of all, he jumped. There are a ton of NBA players who would have made a business decision and walked that thing out and not even got close.
He had no intention of actually trying to block the shot. He went up there to act like he was getting hit in the face. No, he didn't.
Okay.
He tried to act like he got hit in the face. No, it's not.
We have a guy who will literally hit you with the, that's his defense, and try to scare you into missing. At least Luka jumped. And then after, which I'm sure you won't actually show, he took it respectfully. They asked him about it. He said, man, I wish I had those buttons. And that was it. He wasn't a loser about it.
You're right. I'm not going to show that, 1. And 2, I could show after that when they asked him about did he think he got fouled, and he said no, which means he definitely flippity flopped like he said he was. So no, I'm not going to show it.
Wait.
But it is what it is. Well, you know what I am going to show? This is what Luka had for breakfast. Beer. Looks like he was weighed down by the wheat, the ale, the hops.
And that was also confirmed to actually be factually inaccurate. It's just people making stuff up on the internet.
Don't give a damn.
But go ahead.
It correlates with, but it does correlate with this though. Couldn't get off the ground, weighed down.
At least he jumped. And what else is he gonna do?
So let me tell you. So
he got to lead his team in assists. He got to lead his team in rebounds. Got to lead his team. And then he got these sorry ass guys. Look at old Reggie Bullock with the Olay defense. First of all, Reggie Bullock, that is your job. You don't score no damn points. All you're doing is running. At least get in the damn way, son. Davis Bertans, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You just watch that man get destroyed. You ain't even help him up. You went to go take the ball out. This man is the only reason that you do anything.
They weren't in the zone, bruh. They were not in the zone.
And
they were not in the zone.
Wiggins was, you shouldn't be. He was definitely in the zone.
No, they weren't in the zone.
No, Andrew Wiggins was in his zone. He moved.
You know why Luka is down there? Let's look at this. You know why Luka is down there? You know why he's down there under the base? No, because he's supposed to be guarding Draymond. He's supposed to be guarding Draymond.
Okay, so we both know a decent amount about basketball. So who do you think that is more of a person who can score at that very moment? Wiggins or Draymond?
If you were guarding Draymond like you were supposed to, you wouldn't be up under the goal getting dunked on.
Yes, if he was guarding Draymond like he was supposed to, he would have been able to do a 360. What are you talking about? At least he got in the way.
No, Reggie Bullock had to flash over to Wiggins. See, he had to flash over there because he was literally trying to cover two people. Luka don't play no defense, bruh.
So why is his defensive rating number 1 in the NBA? And I'll give you some just hey, there is some Jason Kidd magic in there. Jason Kidd magic ain't getting you to number 1 in defensive rating.
He's number 1 defensive rating for what?
Point guards.
For point guards. Is he? He is not.
Yes.
There's Drew Holiday, who's ahead of him. I'm looking at it right now. Kyle Lowry's ahead of him.
Well,
let's see what Luka is. Let me keep scrolling. Defensive rating. We're at the end of page 1. The end of page 1.
Right. Okay.
Look at
this
page
is the
2.
best part about it. I got mine too. Got my sources right here.
The end of page 2. Luka Doncic. Am I looking at defensive rating? I'm making sure I'm looking at defensive rating, so I don't.
Tell me what that say right now. Look in your phone.
Tell you what say.
Sent you the text. Hit him with.
Is it a text or is
begging for some more? Hit him with.
Is it a text or was it in Instagram?
Hit him with the text. TEXT text. Boy, you need to put your readers on.
Luka Doncic has the best defensive rating by a point guard this season with 106.5. He's tied
Survey
with Chris
says
Paul. He's tied with Chris Paul. Where'd you get this? Send me the link.
StatMuse. It's actually one of the.
Muse?
Yes, it's a great app. Now that we're here, this is not a commercial. But as a person who considers himself a stat geek and a guy who likes to do research, StatMuse is one of the best places to go. Oh my goodness! Please stop. Cut that damn man. Nobody saw Luka.
I love that.
Just let that man keep dying. I mean, I'm a Luka fan, but this is bad. But
there's also other stuff. There's also other videos of him getting stepped back by Jordan Clarkson, getting run around.
No, I'm sure he did not. I'm sure he did not get stepped back versus Jordan Clarkson.
Not Jordan Clarkson versus Jordan Poole.
Jordan Clarkson plays for the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are where at home. By who? Luka Doncic. But Luka, this team sucks. This team is god awful. Dwight Powell. Please tell me how.
Now, all right, I'll turn this off because this is where I gotta agree with you. I'm not conceding Luka plays defense because he doesn't. But Dwight Powell is awful. Dwight Powell is awful.
We have 4 bigs. We have 4 bigs on our team better than Dwight Powell, and might be 5 if Nate ever played Jalen Johnson. But Onyeka Okongwu, Clint Capella, John Collins, and Danilo Gallinari, all full stop better than Dwight Powell, getting 4 rebounds at 8 feet tall. Bro, what the? If I was Luka, I would slap the shit out of Dwight Powell. Can't ride. You got to ride the bus back. Ain't no bus. We flew. You are riding the bus, and not mega bus, Greyhound. You need some time to really think about who you are.
Dwight Powell's gonna end up, and watch him he's gonna get released, and he's gonna go sign with the Warriors, and he's gonna be a backup center, and he's gonna be amazing.
No, Dwight Powell can't stop Kevon Looney. If you can't stop Kevon Looney, it's over.
I'm about to say they got Kevon Looney though. They don't need any of that.
And you let Kevon Looney go for 20 and 10. He ain't had that many points since he was in college.
High school. No, college. It was college. He ain't had that many rebounds since he was in high school when he had 22 rebounds.
You letting this man set personal records on you? Are you Trae Young?
2 in a row. 2 in a row. 2 in a row. But anyway,
don't worry about it. Dwight Powell, Max Kleber. Max Kleber and Reggie Bullock went over for the whole game.
Not Max Kleber. I always said he was pyrite, but his whole team is pyrite.
He'll be in the Euro League next year. You play for Real Madrid or somebody. That team might be too good.
Man, that might work out for you. You go play with Mirotic. So,
not Mirotic.
Oh, shout out to Draymond.
I heard Bobby is in here somewhere.
Shout out to Draymond, past Dirk Nowitzki for in the record books for all-time playoff threes in a career. Are y'all surprised by that?
Everybody's now thinking to themselves, what? I bet you Draymond probably did this in a lot more games than old Dirk did.
Did not.
Wrong answer.
Did it in less games. Did it in less games. Less games. Now, I mean,
that's as far as the stat goes. That's as far as the stat goes.
I was like,
I'm not stupid. I am not stupid. But
I was like, Draymond threes be wide open. Dirk be having 3 people on him.
What it does? Oh, no, that is not the problem here. Draymond, we've all seen Draymond shoot. Hell, Charles Barkley just asked him, "Why do you shoot 3-pointer?" We know it's terrible. And yeah, even if Dirk is double teamed, you're the second best foreign player of all time. A scoring machine, and you're like 7 feet tall, bro.
You say he's the second best foreign player of all time?
Yes, absolutely. Hakeem Olajuwon. Don't even think about it.
Yeah. I had to think about it for a second. Yeah.
For what? It's the dream. the dream.
Well, I
boy,
mean,
you're not even the best foreign player in your
He's
state.
probably, if you want to talk about it, he's probably the third best because Giannis is probably going to be the best foreign player of all time by the time it's said and done.
Boy.
By far.
Oh, and Luka, boy, you dropping like it's hot, boy. That
I don't know,
man.
It remains to be seen with Luka because, I mean, he's going to get his stats, but if they don't put a team around him, it's going to be for naught.
Nah, and don't forget now, Dirk didn't start out good. Like Luka did start out good, Dirk did not.
Nah, Dirk had to get acclimated to the NBA because it was a lot more physical.
And the NBA had to get acclimated to Luka. I mean, it's kind of wild to look at it, but I mean, Dirk for a career only averaged 21 points and 8 rebounds. You know,
for his career. Well, he's not a rebounder now.
I mean, but still, that's not.
I feel like Dirk now. Since we here, I feel like Dirk had a solid 7 years of from 05 to 2012 of him just.
No, he started. No, geez, no, you're wrong. You are wrong.
What 2000 in 2000? He was drafted in 96.
And you know what? Let me backtrack this. He was in 1999. He was drafted. He averaged 8 points. 1999, he averaged 17 and a half points. In 2000, he averaged 21. And he
from 2000 to 2012, he just demolished.
For 11 years, he was 20. He did play. I mean, he played from 1999 to 2018. That's a really long time to play basketball.
And he still don't fuck with LeBron. But anyway, I thought that stat was interesting of Draymond. Let's get to this. Seems like the beef has been is squashed between Mark Cuban and Lil Wayne. If you remember, Lil Wayne called Luka a hoe on Twitter. Mark Cuban responded and said it's a shit show. Put you in front row talking about Lil Wayne. It's funny because Lil Wayne be front row.
And that's a Lil Wayne bar.
Yes.
So
and Lil Wayne responded, Mark Cuban, don't make me get you smacked, boy. You playing with me, I will piss in your fucking mouth, ho. First off, Lil Wayne. What did Diddy say? What did Diddy say to Jermaine Dupri? You trying to box with God? Your arms ain't long enough to box with me. Your money ain't long enough to box with Mark. Mark could get you touched a lot faster than you could probably make the phone call to get him.
You
touched.
Want to know how many people For that man has 4.7 B with $1 billion.
I'll give you
Wayne,
0.7 billion. I'll give you a tenth. He could get Wayne, you tripping. I ain't even gonna try to do the math. Wayne, you
first
tripping.
of all, let's
But
go
they pieced
ahead
it up
and
anyway, so it don't matter.
No, but we have to address this. First point is you started this. Once you start calling people hoes, whatever the response is what the response is.
True.
You can't get mad and then be like, and then
I'll get you
what
smacked.
you said was erroneous.
You will not get him smacked.
He
Not
will
in
get
Dallas.
You and your entire not anywhere on God's green earth. You're not going nowhere and getting him slapped. Now what you can do is get you and your family slapped in front of the world.
That
same dude who went after Dave Chappelle will be more than happy to go after you for a lot less.
Ooh, there's a joke there too, but we
gonna get out of there. But Lil Wayne, like, stop being childish. Stop being a loser. If you started, hey man, I am the biggest proponent of keep that same energy, fam. So if you want it, I got it, and I'm ready. Whenever you ready, kick this thing up a notch. Ain't that what Emerald used to say?
Let's kick it up a notch. Anyway, and lastly, we talked about Luka getting dunked on, Luka having breakfast beers, Reggie Bullock 0 for 0 for, Draymond apparently can shoot when he wants to. Then there's Steph, two-way Steph. Let's listen to what his reaction when he was called a two-way player.
Hey, Steph, being the two-way player that you are, you know, on both ends, when you when you looking at film. When you're looking at film,
hey Raymond, you got good job. Thanks for you worded that. That's not exactly what I emailed you, but close.
He said that's not what I said it was.
Hey Steph,
but
that's pretty.
That's like two-way player.
That's like when your old lady gives you a compliment that you weren't really ready for, and you like, you talking to me? Me? Oh yeah, sure.
Let's go to the stuff. What you want? What you want? It sure is me, ain't it? Yeah, man. But again, Steph has that surprise look. He had the same surprise look when somebody called him Wardell. I think it was the same dude called him Wardell during the press conference. Oh yeah. So it's the same thing with me. That's why I go by Reggie, not the first name.
Not the first name.
But yeah, man, that was pretty dope, man. Steph has been playing really good defense, and what's scary is okay. Let me backtrack.
Yeah,
Steph has been playing good defense for him. On a scale of Steph and Trey, he's been playing good defense. And
that's all you really want from these guys. Y'all otherworldly scorers. We get it.
He's finally getting his shot. That's what I was saying. He finally gets his shot. His shot is coming back. All right, go ahead.
Yes, but it's only so much that people are really asking from you on a defensive side of the ball. But during that, you need at least to give effort. At least look like you're trying to do something so the guys who are actually playing defense for you don't mind nearly as much. That's my biggest thing is don't loaf on defense and then be like, because every guard you've ever played with basketball, they be, hey, don't clap at me no more, dog. I'm gonna throw you the ball, but damn, be ready to slap somebody.
Yeah, man. So it looks like that series is winding down, and if they can pull this off, I'm telling y'all, I'm coming in with smoke in the city because we are going to have that discussion. Who is better out of Akron? I'm sure everybody's gonna say LeBron. It's fine. 4-4, MVPs, playoffs, best greatest shooter of all time. He has an argument. I'm just gonna leave it right there. He has an argument.
And my answer is always the same when it comes to Steph and LeBron. Hey LeBron, you can tell everybody else in the world you're the second best player of all time. And for these young kids who are foolish enough to believe them, you can tell them that you're the best player in the world. But when Steph come around, you gotta humble yourself. You never dominated Steph. If you look head to head, Steph got you, big dog.
Yeah. And before they got Durant too, by the way.
And if you really want to, take it to the next level, Steph homegrown. He grew his from the bottom up,
Didn't
literally
go
out of the
nowhere.
mud. Never
Didn't
left.
leave,
Never
didn't-
lost. Never left. Never lost.
So, hey man, we gonna have
You
that
on the
discussion.
other hand, you are NWO white, NWO red, the Wolf Pack.
Oh, not white and
Generation
red.
You've been everywhere, bro.
Degeneration
You've been
X,
on all
bro.
these teams, dog.
Nation of Domination, Head Dusters. Use
Come on, back out of there, Come on out of there,
That was funny, man.
Ted DiBiase last episode. Now you want to talk about
What did I say about
the
Ted
Steiner
DiBiase?
brother?
Oh yeah,
He was
yeah, never mind.
named in the lawsuit with Brett Favre, who stole from all them poor people. Yeah, go back and listen to the last episode.
Mhm.
It was Brett Favre stealing from poor people in this country.
In his own state. That's wild, crazy.
The same people who supported him his whole career, he stole from them. You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
The only thing I hate to see more is the score of this Celtics Heat game. Mine.
Celtics Heat, boys. So we were gonna talk about we are gonna talk about. So game 3, your man Bam, we have been calling him out, saying, hey man, that bubble run's looking cloudy like the Lakers ring. He hurt us. 31 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals in game 3. No Jimmy Butler. Kyle Lowry re-aggravated his hamstring injury, even though he's playing. He's a shell of himself, and came out that Tyler Hero was actually hurt too. Bam played a hell of a game, and he pretty much locked down the paint. Now, the Celtics didn't have Robert Williams that game either, though.
And here Bam is. I'm gonna give you all the update because, of course, I'm not watching this game because it's a flaming hot bag of garbage. But Bam Adebayo right now played 20 minutes, has 7 points, 5 rebounds, no steals, no blocks.
So what are you saying? He's pyrite because Jimmy Butler has played 24 minutes. Has 6 points,
I'm saying
5
that we
rebounds.
need we need to look at some of these players again. And Bam is one of those guys. Because once again, I know y'all probably don't want to hear me talk about John Collins, but it's my podcast, so I do what I want to. Everybody says that Bam Adebayo is so much better than John Collins.
defensively.
No, they think that Bam Adebayo is substantially a better player than John Collins. Career averages don't say so. This performance sure as hell doesn't say so. John Collins played better than him with one hand and one foot.
Okay. I'm not going to argue against John Collins because I think John Collins' offensive repertoire is much better than Bam's. But Bam defensively is a problem, man. He can guard literally everybody. So,
but 7 points and 5 rebounds, that don't get you nowhere. Don't get you nowhere but sent back home.
well, I mean,
Mr. 305.
Okay, but they're in the second quarter, and the team in totality has 39 points.
No.
So
They're in the third quarter, and they have none of their starters have more than 7 points.
They're in the third quarter.
2 of them have 0. PJ Tucker, Ofer, Max Strus shouldn't even been in the game. Boy, you sorry as hell.
I be telling y'all need to go at Max Strus. Max Strus can't guard nobody. He can't.
He'll be fired.
He's
And
a
shout out
heavier
to
Duncan Robinson.
$35 million Kyle Lowry minus 28. Boy, I told y'all should have had Julius. Boy, if y'all had Julius right now, y'all be a different team.
Well, obviously that Boston is missing Hero, and this does nothing for Miami in negotiating the contract extension that Tyler Hero claims that he deserves in being paid with Trae Young, Luka Doncic, and all of them.
Oh, now you, which I'm glad that you said this when you did, because you and DeAndre Ayton must be drinking out the same damn bottle, and
Y'all
that
go
bottle
team up together.
is absent. It's got to be the thing where you're seeing the green fairies, because it ain't no way. Now, I do give you your respect for being 6th man of the year and coming off the bench in very opportune times and flourishing. But if you think that you're going to be, you and DeAndre Ayton both believe y'all should be paid like Trae Young, y'all are smoking the dopiest of dopes. Put it down, because it's laced with fentanyl, ketamine, meth, yeah, whatever the Sacklers was selling, y'all have that in y'all pack right now. Let me tell you.
Since
Now
we're
let's
here,
get on to
since
DeAndre
you brought DeAndre Ayton up, before we get there,
DeAndre ate up. Boy, y'all ate it.
Well, no, let's go to DeAndre Ayton. Fuck it, we here.
Who? Who wanna go? You finna go home anyway. Don't matter. You might be playing for the Bahamas next. The way you talking.
DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams are at odds. So at the closeout game of the Mavericks versus the Suns, DeAndre Ayton was basically only played 17 minutes, and that was the first half, and then he didn't come back in the game at all. And it seems like he and Monty Williams got into a little bit of a tiff. They asked Monty what was going on, and Monty said
17 minutes, so he didn't play most of the fourth quarter. Is there any reason why? Is he hurt or
It's
is there any
internal.
reason?
Straight
Coach
face.
played
that's that on that. So y'all already know when a coach says that it's internal and don't say nothing. Monty Williams, for those that don't know, we got to give you background. Monty Williams is probably one of the most beloved coaches of all time. Not for only what he's gone through, he's also a player's coach. He can relate to his players very well.
He's the coach of the year this year.
And was the runner-up last year.
Yes.
So he commands. And when I say commands, not that he comes in, y'all gonna respect me, I'm gonna die for mine, like T.I., not like that. His actions command respect. So if his actions command respect, and he never loses his cool on the bench, him and Ayton got into it so badly on the bench that Monty Williams started walking towards Ayton like he was Paul Silas and was about to put them hands on Ayton on the sideline, and the coaches had to get between them. And Ayton put on his jumpsuit and didn't go back in the game. Now,
Well,
Monty Williams is saying that DeAndre Ayton quit on us.
yes. And he's just not that good. I don't know why he doesn't understand that and his agent doesn't understand that. I actually have a little piece from his agent. He says, we're disappointed. We wanted a max contract. He's a valuable player. There's other teams in the league. He's a restricted free agent, so we'll see how the process goes. Nobody is paying you that. And the only teams that I could imagine possibly even overpaying you, number one, I don't know what Michael Jordan is doing with the Hornets right now. I do think that he needs to go after a center because you already got not LeVar, not LiAngelo,
LaMelo.
not Lonzo. LaMelo, thank you. There's all them L's. And literally they taking L's too. But they need a big, and the Plumlee brother, I don't know which one of them, Miles, Mason, Mark, Matthew, all the books in the Bible. I don't know which one he is, but he's better than that guy. And Charlotte being one of the places where
the Plumlee Gentile shot it.
Come on, man. So he's one of those Charlotte's not one of those places where you're readily going to get a bunch of free agents. I think that they could probably overpay, and I don't think that he's in the realm of what he wants to be paid, but he's not a bad basketball player either. I could also see this being
Toronto. You should go to Toronto.
Toronto. Man, Masai Ujiri is going like, boy, if you don't shut the hell up talking to me, talking about you want to be a max player, well, you're not the best player on this team. You're not the third best player. I mean, you are the third best player on this team. You're going to be behind Siakam, and you're going to be behind Scotty Barnes, and you're probably going to be behind Fred VanVleet. We're not paying you that.
You think he's the third best? Oh, you talking about on the Raptors?
Oh, yeah, on the Raptors? The protocol over there, Scotty Barnes.
Wrong.
Pascal Siakam,
Fred
VanVleet.
Scotty Barnes, Fred VanVleet.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't doing order. You just saying top three.
No. I think that Scotty Barnes, because he's younger, is probably going to. He's your draft capital, and I think that if you got to replace one, it's easier to replace Pascal Siakam than Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes ready to play today.
So is Pascal Siakam. Now, from a money standpoint, it's easier to replace. You don't have to pay. You You probably gonna have to get
and-
rid of Pascal eventually because they got to pay Scotty Barnes. You're gonna have to pay Scotty Barnes.
And Pascal Siakam's paid $35 million. He ain't a $35 million player. I'm sorry. But yes. So Aiden, you're not going to Toronto. I could see him going to Utah, or I could see in an act of desperation, I could see him going to.
Ain't he from
Portland.
like Barbados? Where he from? Barbados?
Bahamas? Yeah,
Bahamas?
You're gonna
You
have
think
to,
he gonna go to
that's
Utah?
Gonna be a culture shock.
That's gonna be a temperature shock.
Bro.
Temperature.
Yeah. Hey, you asked for it. You want the money? Must be the money. This driving.
Yeah, that money will keep
wild.
you on.
Yeah.
Money will keep you
But
on,
yes.
man.
But yeah, I could see Portland. I could see Charlotte. I could see Utah. Other than that, pass. I'm not paying you that. And I would
Speaking
only
of-
pay that in Portland. You can't pay him more than you're going to pay Dame. Hell no.
Well, we'll see what happens with Ayton. He did not report after the series ended. He was not made available to the media, and they don't even know if he's going to actually have an exit interview. They may just make him exit. So,
oh no, if you ain't had no exit interview by now, it's over, bro. The exit interview is the day after. If you don't report, and from it's internal, we didn't need to hear from him anyway.
Speaking of players that think they're better than they are, let's listen to Pat Bev talk about the time that he allegedly kicked Chris Paul's butt in his own camp.
Me and CP, I was in high school. I was college.
Okay.
I went to LeBron James camp, and you know, Steph Curry is my roommate. You have this certain team that plays the LeBron James, the Chris Pauls, the OJ Mayo, whoever, Darnell Jackson, whoever it was at the time, in front of a bunch of scouts. And I got a taste of little CP there.
Okay. And what was that taste?
He destroyed him.
Pause.
You destroyed him.
Ask LeBron. I don't have to lie. I'm not like ask Chris. That's your good friend. You know. So it's always been something from there. I respect his game. I love CP's game. Mm-hmm. Right. I love what he do. I love back in the day he destroyed Tony Parker and you know all that type of stuff in New Orleans. But the praise that he gets and the slander that he doesn't get when he doesn't perform, it's not the same as it is with every other superstar. And my question is, why not? Me and CP.
Man, so
I don't. Go ahead. I want you to speak first.
Anytime somebody says, I ain't got to lie, after they say a statement, 9 times out of 10, they lying. But let's say it did happen. He destroyed NBA Chris Paul. Now remember, this is Steph Curry got drafted in what, 2009?
Yeah.
2010? So he was roommates with, so that means Steph Curry, he was at the camp around 2007. Chris Paul got drafted in 2005. Chris Paul in 2009, 8, and 7 was like all NBA defense. So you mean to tell me, Pat Bev, you destroyed Chris Paul at LeBron James camp while you were in high school and then didn't get drafted? And then there's a lot
reasonable.
There's a
high
school kid destroyed an all NBA player and didn't get drafted?
One game ain't gonna make you drafted. That's not how it works. You don't just be like, oh, I'm draft him for one. No, you got to play on a regular basis. Patrick Beverley was drafted in 2009, second pick, number 42. You have enough tape to understand who Patrick Beverley really is, and he just might not be that. But for me, there are a couple things. Number one, if he really didn't bust Chris Paul ass, they would have already brought out the video. They would show him getting whooped by Chris Paul. We know that's how the internet works now. There's a video of it somewhere. And that's one thing for sure that they would like to do is show that Patrick Beverley was lying. That's where the Twitter people live. That's what they do. Number one. Number two.
I mean, that goes both ways though. If there's video of him busting Chris Paul's ass, they would have released that too.
I personally don't believe so because it's one game. All right, you got him. He's still a Hall of Famer. He is literally the point guard. So for me, it's that point, and it's also
what?
If you got him for a game that doesn't really mean anything, every player has got their ass busted at some point by somebody who was not as good as you believed him to be. Everybody has a day.
So are you saying this is like the kid that beat Michael Jordan in horse type thing?
Yes, or the guy. You remember the guy who beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one, and they hid that video forever. So I think it's that. And y'all have to remember, Patrick Beverley is a troll of all trolls. He wants to be involved in the media. And look, if you bring his face up, bring the clip back, he looks like I am about to turn this. Look at him. I'm finna turn this motherfucker out right here. Look at this. Look at this. I'm finna get some clicks today. And they have let Patrick Beverley take over the media for a week. And Patrick Beverley at home, been home.
His shoes fly though. But so it seems like in the media, the mainstream media, and I mean the media period, at the end of the day, this is still entertainment. It's news, but it's sports news and entertainment. Everybody has a persona. Stephen A has a persona. Rachel Nichols had a persona. Everybody has a persona. This seems like they're building up Patrick Beverley's persona, or taking his persona and multiplying it, extrapolating it, so that he can transition into ESPN, similar to Draymond Green.
And realistically, Pat Beverley isn't really good at anything. So I'm a firm believer.
Why did that sound so disrespectful?
Because he's not a shooter. He's not really a facilitator. He plays some defense, but he's more of a adjutant than actually like a lockdown defender. With that said, if Patrick Beverley doesn't market himself, he doesn't do this, nobody cares about Patrick Beverley. He's probably already out of the league 4 or 5 years ago. So this is it. This is how he's made his money. I don't expect anything else from him. I don't expect anything else from him other than go out. He's the equivalent of LeVar Ball by himself. I have to sell myself and go play at the same time. I don't hate that man for making no money, because if he wasn't talking, he wouldn't have no money.
Well, he also decided to kind of talk to the wrong person. This is his interaction. Somebody said he's a mosquito. Surgical 68. So he's a mosquito. Then you had Pat Bev here talking about JJ Redick. Oh, I didn't put the
because I think they're both fantastic
hold on,
players,
y'all.
and in some
they
ways
can hear
they're
it.
similar
They can hear it,
players,
but we can't hear it. So I'm gonna make sure that we can hear it.
Play both sides of the basketball.
This thing ever turns up.
You know,
you said that plays both sides?
Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum. Yeah.
Jason Tatum plays both?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, I'll just make
Yeah. Did you watch the Net series at all?
No, yeah, a little bit. I just
Okay.
Shut that down real quick. I'm gonna play it again because we couldn't hear it. But basically,
it's a tough question because I think they're both fantastic players, and in some
See,
ways
this is
they're
a
similar
stretch.
players.
This is more people being prisoners of the
Play
moment.
both sides of the basketball. You know,
You said that plays both sides?
Jimmy Butler.
Wait,
and
hold
Jason
on.
Tatum. Yeah.
What's up, Rod?
Tatum plays
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, I'll just make
Yeah. Did you watch the Net series at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I just
Okay.
So he definitely questioned whether Jason Tatum is a two-way player. And from what I've seen, especially this year, I know they just didn't hit this half. He hit that half-court shot. I knew he was going to do that. Wow. Especially this year, with as well as the Celtics have played defensively, you can't call Jason Tatum. You can't say Jason Tatum is not a two-way player. He plays good defense.
How long have you been a two-way player, Reggie?
I'm assuming this year, maybe last year. I don't know his defensive stats from last year.
Well, definitely this not year. Brad Stevens last year, he was not a two-way player.
Well, they also weren't a defensive team.
So is he a defensive player, or is Ime Udoka coaching the hell out of a defensive team? It's just a question I have to ask. Nobody considered Jason Tatum a two-way player last year, or any other year in his career. Just haven't. It's a harsh reality. But now, and nobody really considered him a two-way player until he played. So now, and I'm going to give him his credit. He played great defense against Kevin Durant. Before that, nobody was like, oh, yeah, man, Jason Tatum, lockdown defender. No, you've never heard anybody say that.
No, not before, but this year. I mean, it's the same thing. You can have, thank you, Kev, both can be true. You can have a player that's okay at defense, good at defense, and being with a coach that's not good at defense. I mean, look at how many, look at, well, none of them were actually good. Never mind. I was going to do any D'Antoni team. But
boy, hell no. Don't even bring up D'Antoni next. But
what I'm saying is you can have a good defensive coach who knows how to utilize your team better and utilize your strengths better. I always say, because I reference this with football, a coach shouldn't say, I need players for my system. Because that means wherever you go as a coach, you're going to have to redo that entire team, an entire roster to make it fit your system. I always say the greatest coaches, one of the better coaches are the ones that can take what they have, like Putty, and get the most out of it, right? That's why Bill Belichick is so good. And, Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is really good. Josh McDaniels had.
So good
yes, he
Tom Brady.
is.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
No. I'm not.
We're gonna see how good Bill Belichick is now with.
Hold on. I'm saying you're not gonna do that with Josh McDaniels. You're not gonna do that with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels was literally voted the best offensive coordinator in the league multiple times. So he was a really good offensive coordinator, and the same. Now, to your point, you're saying Josh McDaniels also took Troy
the greatest
Brown,
quarterback of all time,
Darren Branch, Troy Brown, whatever, and made them really good. Or you can then say Sean McVay with Jared Goff. However you want to do it. They can both be true. You can have a defensive player that has all the ways to be. He's 6'8". He can guard the 1, 2, and the 3. They switch well. He can do all of that, and then be made a better defender or somebody that takes advantage of his attributes, like a defensive-minded coach, and they can be good. Now, Kev made another good point. You keep going from like here to here, right? All he said was Jason Tatum is a good player. He plays both sides of the ball. You said lockdown defender. There ain't a lockdown defender on every team. There's not.
Okay, so let's say this. Perfect example, Dallas Mavericks. None of those guys really play good defense. None of those guys are even good defenders for the most part. They have one of the.
They're considered a defensive team.
Who on their team is a good defender?
Dorial Finney-Smith. Just because you don't know his name, you can say who.
First of all, his name is Dorian Finney-Smith. That's beside the point. But
Finney-Smith, FS.
Say he's a good defender. Jalen Brunson, good defender or no? No. Luka Doncic, good defender or no?
No.
Dwight Powell, good defender or no?
Effort.
Answer the question, Reggie.
I think he just hurt his shoulder. I think Grant Williams' shoulder is out of place.
But this is the thing. Say you have two good defenders. If you have two good defenders, that doesn't put
Bullock is a good defender. That's why he's a 3-and-D guy.
So I'm gonna give you Dorian Finney-Smith, and I'm gonna give you Reggie Bullock. Those are two good defenders. Everybody else, not even really mid. There is nobody on that team that's a good defender, but they are a top 5 defense. Is that the
You just said there's 2 people with good defenders. You just said that.
Those 2 do not make you a top 5.
Oh, that's scheme too.
Those two guys are not going to make your top 5 defensive team in the NBA. Not a chance in hell. It ain't nothing that Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock, Mr. Cardio, can do to make you a top 5 in offense nor defense.
He makes it so hard to damn defend it because he went 0 for 0. But
because he's some trash. That's Jason Kidd coaching the hell out of a damn team. That's the reason the defense that Luka got the #1 defensive rating in the NBA at point guard. It's not because he's a good defender, because we know he's not. But Jason Kidd is coaching his damn ass off. And that's the same thing happening with the Celtics right now. Y'all want to make Jason Tatum.
Wait. So are you agreeing with me that Luka's not a good defender? After you made all that hoopla before?
No, I always said he wasn't a good defender, but he's at least getting in the way. That's all I asked.
So what was the point of you? So then that stat you sent me of him being the #1 point guard defender and all that stuff is irrelevant.
He's playing good enough.
Good
enough.
I wish I can't get up and show y'all, but this is me doing the moonwalk. That's what Norwood just did out of that statement.
You ain't never confused Trey as the #1 defensive rated point guard in the NBA. Not even on accident. Never.
What does that have to do with Luka not being a good defender? You keep referencing Trey when Luka is not a good defender. You keep going here when the argument is here.
And realistically, he ain't a bad defender. He's a mediocre defender.
Ooh, there it is, Kev. I'm gonna put a goalpost GIF on here that I can open up every time Norwood pivots.
Just make sure you put the goalpost GIF right next to the depth chart for the Dallas Mavericks.
Don't matter. That had nothing to do with his defense. Luka's not a good defender, which you just said 37 seconds ago.
The Dallas Mavericks team as a whole has no guys who are lockdown defenders. They have what we've quantified as 2 good defenders, and they're a top 5 defense. And somehow it's magic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call peak Norwood. Peak Norwood. We are now talking about the Mavericks defense, and we originally started talking about. We literally started talking about.
Oh, we in it now.
Pat Bev talking about saying Jason Tatum is not a two-way player.
Let's go ahead and I want to talk about something else, because when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, this is another team who is not very good at defense. And if you look at their roster, they really only have 2 guys who play any level of defense. But every year
they only have 2?
Yes.
Who?
Draymond Green and Wiggins this year. The last years that they've been competitive, they've been a top 5 or 6 defense, and even last year.
I guess you can't say Clay because he's been hurt for 2 years, but Clay is a defensive player before he got hurt.
Ain't played since 2014.
You said 2014?
That's me being facetious.
No, that was me realizing what you just said. Like, wait, what?
Yes. But yes. Draymond Green is an otherworldly defender, and he's mostly played with players who are subpar defensively, and he still gets it done. Now, if they're going to be a top 5 defense, you have to give the defense to somebody.
Oh, wait. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Let me go ahead and add Norwood's audio. I know y'all want to hear his wildly annoying voice at times, but
Me.
There you go. All right, go ahead.
Yes. So for me, Gary Payton Jr. is good enough, but he also plays probably 14 minutes a night, 15 minutes a night. That's Draymond. And either you're going to give it that Steve Kerr is a defensive guru, which I don't think a soul would say. We know Steph don't play no defense. Clay ain't played in 2 years. Wiggins only showed up this season, and you got Kevon Looney and Draymond. So either Draymond is that good of a defender,
which he is.
Okay, that is all I wanted to hear. The rest of those guys
he's a good defender?
No, he's an otherworldly defender. He plays with a bunch of guys who don't play defense.
No,
even last year.
No, they have players that play defense, but if I say their names, you're gonna be like, who? But they actually are brought in only for defense, like Otto Porter Jr. He's literally there just to play defense. That is the only reason he's there.
Otto Porter Jr. plays like 7 minutes a night.
That's because he be hurt. But when he's in there, he's only there to play defense. But before we get there, hey, back to Pat Bev real quick, because I wanted to show this. Dame responded to Pat Bev and said, well, what did CP do to you, bruh? Like, why you out here violating the brotherhood? Bro on TV acting like his word is law, speaking on private combos and preying on MF's downfall. This weird behavior. I ain't got a horse in this race. I think we talked about this, saying he ain't got a horse in this race, but you definitely do have a horse in the race when you decide to say something.
I hate when people do that. Oh, I'm just say this and then leave it alone. Then don't say it. Don't tell me if you only tell one side of the story. And Dame, you need to figure out Portland.
Man, Dame, Dame, I'm gonna give you some solid advice. You take some of your money that's guaranteed. You go out, you hold some type of rally, some type of drive. You help the inner city of Portland. You open up, you do more basketball camps, you feed more people in Portland, you invest in the community, you invest in the free drugs and stuff that are out there. But you also, at the end of the day, when you do all of that and finish your this is what I call farewell tour, you need to take a digital ad out in the digital paper. And also in the physical paper so people can savor it. And you say, thank you, Portland. This has been the best. I couldn't have picked a place to start my career. I really tried to give you guys everything.
About 30 years old.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He started his career in Portland. And now it's time for me to move on. Our time has ended. You need to go down to L.A. Well, no, they can't afford you. You need to go somewhere else to try to win a ring.
Where? It's too
Them
late.
days in Portland are over.
Find his way to a whole new team. And you know what?
Made the playoffs.
I hate to tell you, but hey, Chicago, I might be interested in taking Lonzo Ball back in New Orleans.
For who? Why? Also, Lonzo. So the next thing with Lonzo.
Would you do Lonzo for maybe like a Jackson Hayes and something? They need a big.
For Jackson Hayes, yeah, but you might have to wait 6 to 8 months for that because he got that off the field issues.
Oh well, I mean, and Lonzo got a little knee issue. Ain't nothing but time.
So I was about to say, and here's the thing about Lonzo. Lonzo is rumored that he's been out for a while with the knee, and now he's had multiple setbacks. He suffered a setback at the end of the season, and now he would miss the remainder of the season because he's experienced pain with a high level of physical activity and created he will continue doing daily treatment in preparation for the season. So they basically locked him out. Now remember, they just got Ayo, I can't pronounce his last name, Dosunmu, who is actually a really good defensive player, but he doesn't have the offensive repertoire that Lonzo has yet. And then of course Kobe White is out there not doing anything, and Alex
running
Caruso
around.
So I mean, and they're gonna have money to get other people. So Lonzo, if he could get healthy, man, there's a lot of places that need a player like him.
I'm afraid that the Bulls might be a one and done type of team. Might have had the flash in the pan and then be done. We've always said that they didn't have enough bigs to start the season. Booch is good, but Booch is older. Patrick Williams, I think, is just too small to play the 4. DeMar is the guy.
Talk about a disappointment. Patrick Williams is a disappointment.
Well, he was mostly injured, so I don't want to chalk all of that up. But he's not really in the right position.
Mostly injured because you didn't give anybody else that. That is a disappointment, my brother.
I mean, okay. I mean, well, then Jonathan Isaac. That's my only response to that.
Disappointment.
And now that Kev brings it up, Zach LaVine is interested in seeing other people. He's made it very clear. He can start going on dates. He's gonna meet with, to be exact, Dallas, which I think would be a great place for him. I think that I would almost be interested in seeing.
Boy, Kev shooting at you, bro. Kev shooting at you.
I got all the time in the world, Kev. All the time. But yes, I could see him in Dallas. I think that's probably one of the best places for him. I know that LA is interested, but I can't imagine DeMar DeRozan takes Russ back.
The Hawks.
That ain't no defense, but we score a lot of points. And who was the other team? Mavs, Lakers, Hawks. At the end of the day, whoever it is, if we can make a move and not lose John Collins, I'm all for Zach LaVine. I am all for it. But if we have to lose John Collins in the process, I personally don't think that it's worth it. But I did read today where they said the only way that they're going to trade John Collins is if they can find a guy who is his level, if not at his position, at another position.
Trailblazers, Lakers, Trailblazers, Mavericks, Hawks. Oh, yeah. And remember, he's from the West Coast.
Hey, Zach LaVine, if you don't get the hell out of Portland, you just saw what CJ McCollum did. Leave that where that is.
You see what Rod said over there. Random Dame could be a good fit. Boy, that grammar. Mike could be a good fit in LA with Braun and Brow, but I'm not sure if Russ is movable. You'd have to move Russ. You can't. What would you give Portland? Why would Portland make that trade?
You don't have picks to 2027. I'm not taking Russ. I can turn the ball over. Dame, that's a stupid career move because you're going to get over there. LeBron going to retire. Well, he's not going to retire, but he's moving as soon as Bronny gets drafted. And it's going to be you and Anthony Davis, whose name is street clothes.
Well, Dame is like 31, so it'll be 34 by the time Bronny gets drafted, or at least.
Okay, so hey, well, y'all go ahead. If you attach your career to Anthony Davis after you've seen him play his entire career, then one of us is a fool, and I'm gonna tell you who it ain't.
You're supposed to finish and say me. That was the part of the joke.
No. Your deductive reasoning didn't pick that up, then I ain't lay it down for you.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the basketball segment of episode 57 of the Around the League edition.
Juneteenth flavored ice cream. Don't forget it.
Why? Anyway, Portland may trade their pick and a player to Detroit for Jeremy Grant. It's not a bad look.
Nope.
Low key, Detroit could make a move and they wouldn't be in the cellar anymore. But Jeremy Grant wants out anyway. So, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the basketball segment of the Around the League edition of episode 57 of Splashcast. We are now going to jump right to our football segment. Make sure y'all stay tuned.
Hey, fellas, go ahead, grab your drink. Hopefully, Reggie will join me this time. We'll close this out with some football, a little splashes of the week, and a little sippity dip, dip, dip.
Sippity dip. Y'all stay tuned. But ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Look at Kev with the Eagles. The Eagles. We are back.
Who your quarterback?
We are back with the football segment of the Around the League edition of episode 57 of the Splashcast. As you can see, you can hear it. Your boy has definitely went and joined the party with the Fat Tuesday cup. Drink a little brown to settle on down. We got a few topics we're gonna talk about today when it comes to football. Man, we have. Let's go ahead and start out with college football because we don't have a lot in college football to talk about. But the number one player in the transfer portal now, for y'all know, who's our QB? Good question. Kev came right back at you. But the number one player remaining in the transfer portal is Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is coming off winning the award for best receiver in the nation. Was at Pittsburgh and where they won the ACC championship. He's probably part of the reason that Kenny Pickett made it to the league. He is now transferring to where?
Splashcast University. That's what that is.
He's transferring to that other SC, USC, man. He is going to California to join Lincoln Riley, who left, basically did the same thing. Let's talk about that. I didn't even think about that. First spiral of the segment. Nick Saban went wild crazy. Nick Saban went wild crazy about players getting paid, and all they're trying to do is get paid and get money. and this, that, and the third. Lincoln Riley left a top 4 program in the nation where he was getting paid and went to USC for more money. And nobody says anything. He literally did the exact same thing, except for there's just no coach transfer portal. But he literally was negotiating his contract with USC while coaching Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game where they got upset. Because if they didn't get upset, then they would have went to the playoff. Nobody's saying anything, but this kid and many other kids, or men, I'm sorry, this man and many other men in the
many men
that play football are in this transfer portal and are looking to get paid. You can get paid now. I don't understand why folks are so upset that they're mad that you can get paid.
I mean, that's what I was going to open this segment with. Welcome to college football free agency. That's what it is right now. You have the ability to go out and at the end of the season, go sign for a new team. If coaches have the opportunity to do that, as much as I don't like it, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If coaches can do it, and they did, then he should be able to do the same thing. And I 100% understand leaving Pitt with no Kenny Pickett, even though I'm not sure how good he actually was or is or might be. But I would also be trying to leave Pitt too. I
don't blame him.
You know, yeah.
I can't get mad at him for leaving and not get mad at Jermaine Burton for leaving Georgia to go play at Alabama with a better quarterback, a better offensive system for receivers that put receivers in the lead the last 4 years. That's a business decision. You can't get mad at business decisions, dog.
And do you want to be in Pittsburgh or do you want to be in sunny
Southern California, where their alumni make movies and make millions? Now,
exactly. Or you want to be next to the steel mill? Pick one. Don't think
now.
long.
There's also that tax implication that comes with making money in LA, where you got to pay that entertainment tax of 50% or whatever it is that they take out.
Okay, you also have to live in Pittsburgh. Let me tell you places I'm never interested in going and or living. Pitts nor Burg.
Not any Burg. Just I'm not going to any Burg.
I did. St. Petersburg, Florida is all right.
Man, I know you've been to Orangeburg. Your mama went to South Carolina State.
Not interested in living in Orangeburg. Let me be very clear. Look at me.
Not
Look
live.
me in my
I said
eyes
go.
when I tell you that.
I'm not trying. My family lives there. I have family that live there. We be visiting.
Orangeburg, Spartanburg, none of the Bergs. Youngburg, Iceberg. No thanks.
So shout out to Jordan Addison, man, getting his money, man, getting his money. That's really all we wanted to shout out for him, man. I'm sure, to me, it's all a money move because you're going to USC in Pac-12 Alliance football to do the exact same that you did in Pittsburgh and not make the playoffs. But they do have a lot of players over there now. They are pretty much doing the Texas A&M and buying. Did I say that? Nope, Nick Saban said that. Trying to buy a championship.
Are you quoting Nick Saban rhetoric?
I am. And also, Jordan Addison was I think he was like the straw that broke Nick Saban's back. When Nick Saban went on his rant, it came out that he was going to USC right after Nick Saban did his rant. And he had just let everybody know that he was going to USC, all the coaches. So he was being recruited by Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas, and USC. So when he didn't get him, Nick Saban went crazy. Mind you, Nick Saban, I just told you, got like 4 of the top 10 players in the transfer portal.
Man, Nick has shown the chink in his armor. I had immense more respect for Nick just a week ago. Now,
yeah,
I'm just another chump to me now.
Old man shaking his cane.
Yeah. And somebody never gonna take that cane, whoop your ass with it.
Yep. Got some free agent news real quick. James Bradberry, Kev, for your Eagles. James Bradberry signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Eagles. He left the Giants. He started his career in Carolina, and so he left. I mean, I guess he's upgrading. I mean, he went from awful to terrible to okay.
Shout out to his agent, Chris Coy, Hampton alum, friend of mine.
Shout out to Hampton alum Chris Coy. Moving on. There's also, speaking of players getting paid, Jair Alexander not only got paid $84 million, he got the highest signing bonus in history for a cornerback at $30 million signing bonus. I think like 75% of his contract is actually guaranteed. So this is a big deal. And it's basically resetting the market again.
So, got a question for you. You think he can play receiver?
Yeah, I mean,
Aaron Rodgers got to be like, I ain't got nothing to work with over here. Y'all gonna pay that man all that money and not pay no receiver, but you're gonna have to play both sides of the ball now, son.
No,
have to play running back or something.
No, not rolling with that. Not rolling with what you just said, because he's not getting half the money that Aaron Rodgers is getting. So if Aaron Rodgers really wanted to go pay a receiver, and he really listen, what do we call people that we call them white tears? White tears? This is white tears. Aaron Rodgers, anybody complaining that y'all don't have enough money to go get the talent after getting paid 30% of the roster? 30% of the money for the roster goes to one player? Kiss my ass. I don't care how you feel. You better throw it. You should throw it to CP3PO and RG3, whoever's out there. It don't matter.
Yo,
it could be the frisbee catching dog out there. 150 million, Aaron, $50 million each. You better throw it to him in stride.
Aaron Rodgers and Air Bud would be the best reboot of all time.
Aaron Rodgers should be there is no complaining. You took the money. You Carmelo Anthony. You took the money instead of going to somewhere where they could give you
Don't
the
call
chip.
that man Carmelo Anthony.
I'm
he has
calling
a championship.
I don't give a fuck. Listen.
He gonna turn this mother out.
I don't care. Sorry, man. Aaron Rodgers is fucking privileged, man. I don't like that.
Button for you, huh?
Aaron Rodgers, man, complaining about how you complain after that's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Can't do it. LeBron.
He said that's like complaining. No,
you can't do it. LeBron talking about go get me the players. Same thing. LeBron gonna destroy your entire franchise. Listen. Aaron Rodgers complained about everything. Aaron Rodgers complained about it as a young quarterback. He became the old man that gets complained about. He don't mentor anybody. He really is not real cool with his teammates other than a select few. Everything that he complained about Brett Favre, he's doing to everybody else. Man, I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. He can cry all the white tears he want to. All right.
And the Heat ended the game with no starters in double digits.
They got to 82 points though.
Yeah, that's because
that is
23 points.
I'd be mad as hell if I scored 25% of the points off the bench.
Duncan Robinson had a whopping 14 points.
I outplayed all y'all.
And Caleb Martin had 12. And shout out to Bam Adebayo with 9 points and 6 rebounds. That's y'all king.
Robert Williams made a big deal out of that. But shout out to Jair Alexander getting paid. We already talked about James Bradbury. Shout out to Philip Lindsay, who signed with the Colts for a 1-year deal. That is a big deal to me.
It's a very big deal.
They already have Taylor.
No, this is just another guy. This is like, I like what the Colts are doing. They're preparing themselves to be a competitor. I'm happy that Phil Lindsay got the hell out of Houston. We know what the Houston Texans represent, and it's nothing but racism and losing.
They did them dirty.
And we don't want to see anybody struggle through that. I think that him being a complimentary back to what's his name? I can see his face right now. Who played with Wisconsin? Jonathan Taylor. I think he's an excellent complimentary back. He's fast. He runs hard. He runs tough. When he played with the Broncos, he played tough. He came here.
That's what I was saying. I think Denver did him dirty.
I think Denver did themselves dirty. They let a player who's a tough player, positive attitude, and a guy who runs hard and does everything you ask him for, you let him go. I'm happy to see him getting out of Houston, and I think that taking all the rest of the extra snaps from Jonathan Taylor and the ability to play with Matt Ryan is an excellent place for him to be, and that team should be super and uber competitive. I'm really excited about that. I like that.
It will be, man. Indianapolis already has they're putting all the pieces around Matt Ryan to be successful. They already have a great defense. This is a team to watch out for.
Yep, let's go, Matt.
Yep. Moving on. Hey, man, last person in the free agent news. So, the New Orleans Saints, Taints, whatever you want to call them, signed Jarvis Landry, LSU alum. Signed Tyrann Mathieu, LSU alum. The last one from those teams. Actually, OBJ is no, they was on the same team. I think Matthew was a freshman when OBJ was a senior or junior. Him and Landry. Man, that team was great. But now it's trending that Jarvis Landry is trying to get OBJ to join the hometown Aints. Now that would be tragic.
It wouldn't be tragic. It would be a waste of time.
For the Falcons, it would be tragic.
Oh, it wouldn't be. The season is over. Tom Brady came back. The season is over. Once you come to grips with the season was over, everything at that point becomes null and void. This is just an over-glorified practice season for us. OBJ, if you take your ass down there to the Saints and let Jameis be your quarterback, whatever you get, you deserve. You know that Jameis is 30 for 30. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
Jameis is he's not that was also under Sean Payton though. I was gonna say he wasn't Mr. 30 for 30 under Sean Payton, but Sean Payton is gone.
Exactly. So you can get your ass on down there and try it if you want to. Not advisable, but do what you want to. I'd like to see it because it would be cool, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you putting your faith in Jameis.
Well, so it's kind of the same thing. It's the same thing with Indianapolis, right? The Saints have a good defense.
Why wouldn't he go to Indy? That would be a great place for him to go.
The Saints, he hasn't signed yet, but the Saints have a good defense. The Saints have a whole lot of weapons now. When you have Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, they got a couple other people too.
I'm not interested. I don't think that the Saints are. I wouldn't be interested in going there. There are way too many other options to go.
Kev, their head coach is Dennis Allen. He's a defensive-minded coach.
Also, free agents, Jadeveon Clowney signed yesterday as a consolation prize to go back to the Cleveland Browns. I, for the life of me, can't understand why every year he's the last free agent to sign, and nobody's really ever interested in being like, I got to have Jadeveon Clowney.
And then they get him, and he gives you 9 sacks. He's a great run defender. It might be something in the locker room or something, or maybe he just thinks I don't know. But I was taking him in Atlanta for what they signed him for.
He's a guy, because I was talking to some of the Browns fans about it earlier today. He's a guy who is got to be. He's a Robin. He's the Anthony Davis of football. He's never going to be your edge rusher who can take on the double team. But if you pair him next to somebody who's really good, he'll play on the other side and do his job. Hence the reason he works so well with J.J. Watt, and then he keeps, him and Miles are running it back. But he can't be the man, but he can be the man next to the man.
The Pippin.
I ain't even gonna say that because Scotty had them Bulls playing good with no Jordan. I don't trust Jadeveon Clowney, low motor ass, to do nothing without.
That was 1 year. I mean, okay.
Well, yes, that's one more year than you've seen Jadeveon Clowney lead anybody.
Lead? I mean, no, he's okay. Okay. In other news, there's somebody that thinks that they should be paid. Kyler Murray is unlikely to play without a new contract. Do you think he deserves a new contract. Now he's supposed to get paid 11. He's on the same deal kind of as like Calvin Ridley. He's supposed to get paid $11 million this year in salary and signing bonuses. He's seeking. I didn't read that part. He's seeking an extension north of 3 years, $121 million. He wants $40+ million a year. Didn't read that part. I'm going to go ahead and answer, and then I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to go ahead and answer the question that you posed. Is he worth it? Just to let y'all know, there's a 4-letter word coming. So if you have kids in the car that you listening to, hold on. If you had kids in the car that you listening to, if you have people that don't like cursing, don't like any of that stuff, just know that there's a 4-letter word coming right now. And it goes a little something like this. Does Kyler Murray deserve north of $40 million a year? Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yo, it's the audacity of Oklahoma. They just believe it. Boy, are you smoking dope? Are you smoking meth? Why would you believe that you deserve $40 million? You've only been gift wrapped one of the best supporting cast in NFL history. I still don't know how in the hell you got DeAndre Hopkins for nothing. Then you got Ertz. You already had Larry Fitzgerald.
His name is Bill O'Brien. That's how they got it with nothing. Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, he should be coaching middle school football somewhere. He should be a position coach in middle school football. You don't deserve to be a head coach.
Not they were Dan Mullen.
But wow, that was a shot. Shit, I was not ready for that. But Kyler, man, shut up. And I'm not paying you $40 million. I will redraft another quarterback before I pay you $40 million. And if anybody's willing to pay you $40 million, well, good luck and Godspeed, my friend. But it sure as hell won't be me. Not now, not ever. Can't believe, man. I told you them short dudes from Oklahoma just believe it. Anything. This is the reason you need enforcers on your team, so you just slap people when they say foolishness. I'm not going out there for less than $40 million and go home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Take your ass onto the house. Can't win with you, son.
So now that I looked this up, I just looked up players in NFL quarterbacks making $40 million or more. $40 million gets you.
Is the list shorter than he is?
No, if you do it by foot, 6 feet. Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford gets paid $40 million.
Super Bowl champ, Matthew Stafford.
So this is where Kyler Murray actually has, and I think this is what he's basing his argument on. Derek Carr is getting paid $40.5 million.
They got Devontae with that. It's a couple. That was a package deal.
I mean, he got DeAndre Hopkins.
You did not get DeAndre Hopkins. Bill O'Brien sent you DeAndre Hopkins. They paid Carr because they wanted Devontae. Those are two different things. If you're not there tomorrow, DeAndre Hopkins is not heartbroken. I'm sure of it.
And then there's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. So he believes he should be the fifth or sixth highest paid quarterback. And then Dak Prescott is at $40 million. And then Russell Westbrook is at $35 million. And the myth, the legend, Kirk Cousins is still at $35. Jared Goff is getting paid $33.5 million. Carson Wentz is still getting paid $32 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a bad Wentz contract, and Jared Goff did go to a Super Bowl.
I digress.
I don't think he should have been paid that, but at least he has that on his jacket. Kyler has none of these things.
Kyler's better a guy than some of those people I just said that's getting paid $40 million.
Yes, but if somebody jumps off a bridge, does that mean that I should jump off a bridge because they made a poor life decision? No. And he's actually a guy I would punt on. If you demanded $40 million, I'd let you go. I trade you. Where do you want to go? Who gonna pay you that? Whoever gonna pay you that, I keep my cap space and find another quarterback.
Well, that's you could say that now, but it's tricky because that team, yes, it is. That team is not the youngest team, right? DeAndre Hopkins ain't getting younger. They got old ass J.J. Watt. They just got rid of Chandler Jones. They don't have a lot of young. They got AJ Green. I mean, they don't have a lot of young players. So this is a right now team. My bad, y'all. This is a right now team.
Do you think the Kyler Murray is ready to win right now? Taking too long. if you take that long to think about it, the answer is
they don't have a running game, do they? I don't know who their running back is. No, I don't. I also do. That's not all on Kyler Murray though, because I don't believe in Cliff Kingsbury either.
That's the reason I'm not doubling down. If I don't believe in coach,
you know what? He's definitely going to get paid because this Cliff Kingsbury staked his entire career in his first move off this pick. So he's like, you got to pick it. You got to pay him.
The hell I do, Cliff Kingsbury. You ain't showing me shit either. Both of y'all can go home. How about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Cliff Kingsbury is going to push for him to get paid. Otherwise, Cliff Kingsbury is going to end up at some school, probably Clemson.
Why don't you think that Cliff Kingsbury is not going to end up at some school anyway?
What I'm saying is,
we call those conclusions what they foregone. It's going to happen. You crazy as hell, man, if you think Kyler. You better be glad I'm not the person cutting the checks. I'd have laughed you out of there. I want $40 million. Go ahead and do shit, bro.
Hey, man, T's and P's. Moving on, man. T's and P's to Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen, who was one of the star newcomers, undrafted free agent, HBCU graduate from NCA&T, 5'6" player. Tariq Cohen, unfortunately, and y'all will hear it soon as I start the video.
I don't even have to watch this. But while we show this, which is a terrible moment, he has been a massive inspiration to many players who come out of HBCUs. This is tragic. Looks awful. You can tell immediately. You know.
That's why I wanted to show it. He immediately knew what it was. He said, "Oh no," as he fell. He immediately knew it was his Achilles.
Yeah. Just so unfortunate, man.
We want to send T's and P's to him. Yeah, we want to send T's and P's, thoughts and prayers to him. The thing about Achilles is it's like nature. It's hard to say, but I'll say it. I've been drinking. Nature and science, right? Science is the study of whatever. Nature always seems to be a step ahead of science, right? So when especially in sports, back 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, a torn ACL, a knee injury of any sort will end your career almost, right? Look at Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers was probably going to be the best running back of all time. And he ended up tearing his ACL in the 60s. Back then, you couldn't do anything. Baseball, Tommy John surgery, that normally was a career ender. Now, with the advancement of medicine, the Achilles is getting to the point now where it's like the new ACL. You're seeing more Achilles injuries I've seen, or at least paid attention to it. Maybe they're highlighting it more, but I feel like it's a serious enough injury to where they highlighted it anyway. I've seen more Achilles injuries in the last 5 years than I've seen of any other injury, any devastating injury. It's wild to me. So,
yeah, it's just because I follow this guy and he talks about, you know, the strength of the foot and how you just assume like you lift weights, I'm strong, but like the foot, it has a ton of bones in it. So you have to make sure, you know, a ton of muscles and bones in it. So you have to strengthen the entire foot, not just the parts that you use for specific exercises. And I think that's a lot of it now is you got to do a little bit more specialty training on those parts of your body.
Yeah, you gotta kind of study it more, and focus on it more. It's kind of like players learning how to do yoga, right? So
yeah, that's exactly. That's another place where I have a friend who's deep into yoga, and one of the things that she always talks about is, it's the overall strength of your body and core, and not just your individual muscles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the football segment. We got one more segment to go, y'all. One more segment to go. We are now going to get into our splashes of the week. We got 3 topics we're going to talk about, including Black Man Got Paid. Black Man Got Paid. Black Man Got Paid. Y'all stay tuned.
And y'all will be excited to know that, number one, none of these splashes of the week involve Juneteenth ice cream, and they're all football.
Please stop talking about Juneteenth ice cream. Y'all stay tuned.
It's an important part of Black history.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our final segment of episode 57 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. Our splashes of the week. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. Let's start out with some, it's all positive, but let's start out with something that's long overdue, that should have happened a long time ago, and it's finally happening. The United States Soccer Federation has announced that men's and women's soccer teams will now be paid equally. First off, round of applause. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. Why is this a big deal? It's a big deal for 2 things. One, equal pay should have happened a long time ago. But in terms of sports, when it comes to equal pay, especially like the one that's at the most forefront is the WNBA and NBA, is the women don't bring as much money in. They don't have as much popularity as the men's sports do. That ain't the case right here. Women's soccer has been running the United States soccer for
ever.
Since I was in middle school.
Since Brandy Chastain ripped off the jersey, hit him with that.
Yeah, that's what, 96, 2000, 2004, 2006. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long time. You can probably name more players that you've known on the women's soccer team than you can on the men's, for sure. So that takes away
Mia
all
Hamm,
of that. Boy, Mia Hamm, that is a great callback there.
But I'm actually a proponent of unequal pay here.
They should be paid more.
Why are the women being paid the same amount as the men's and not competitive? Now, I will say the men have had a couple really bad draws. But
yeah, they had to play like the defending champion the last 2 World Cups or something like that.
Well, that's different. World Cup soccer and Olympic soccer are different. But with that said, this team is substantially better than the men. They're a much better draw than the men. They're a much better team than the mediocre ass men. They are the people. Oh boy, the eyes was fluttering. You know, he's struggling over there right now. But this team is better. This team is better. They should be paid commiserately in this case. This is the case of women being twice as good and getting paid the exact same. I said it.
Yeah, it is. So shout out to the women for getting equal pay where they should probably be paid more. It is a victory. It's a small step, but it's a step. And shout out to the United States Soccer Federation for doing the right thing after years and years and years and years of doing the wrong thing and being forced to actually do the right thing. It is what it is. Still a step. Let's stay at soccer. I forgot there's a whole soccer segment, actually. Lionel Messi will purchase 35. How is that racist?
How I said it,
man. Yeah, how I said it. Cultural appropriation. What culture was I appropriating?
We know what it was, man. Hey,
What
talk
was
about Messi. It's too late. The appropriation has already happened.
You don't know. So Lionel Messi will purchase 35% stake of the Major League Soccer team Inter Miami, and plans to join the club in 2023. Great move.
Double up. You're gonna pay my salary, and I own the team. And now that he plans to join the club, means he's going to be on the team. And within that, they're going to now be one of the most popular teams in MLS because they have Messi. And just like everybody eventually does, David Beckham the same way. Once you're done playing, you come over here to the MLS, you invest in the team, you play on the team for a couple years, and you just get rich.
Rich.
Heavy on the ER because
this time
is already rich.
Yep. So, plus, if you look at it, that's a really good team to buy, right? It's not like he's buying the Seattle Sound or whatever they're called. He's buying a team that has in a strong
Sounders. You right?
I don't care either way, but he's buying a team.
Respect football, man. We are respecting football.
I don't, man, whatever. He is buying a team that's in a strong Spanish community, so they're already going to show up and show out to the games. They already do. So it's from a business standpoint, he probably struck gold again here. So shout out to Messi for making his money, man. But this is not the black man we were talking about. Talking about making money.
Oh no, because he's not a.
Go ahead.
Please get Mbappe, man. Let's do it.
Kylian Mbappe, who announced himself on the world stage almost 6 years ago. Kylian Mbappe has signed a new deal and an extension with Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG.
He was thinking about joining Real Madrid, and apparently he was talking to other teams as well, but he decided to stay with PSG. When that happens, when a player says, I'm turning down playing with my childhood favorite team, playing with my adult favorite team, playing with some of my favorite teammates, you know there's money involved. So he signed a 3-year contract extension with wages around £1 million a week, which means £1 is 1.26 or 1.27 dollars.
So $1.25 for every dollar.
Yeah. So $1.25 for every dollar. So he gets
paid $1 million of those.
$1.25 million a week. A week for 3 years.
I make them pay me weekly too.
I think they do. But that's not even the bigger kicker. He gets concessions over image rights. So he gets the money, or he gets money off them using his image, which means they use his image for ticket sales. If he can prove it, he can make money back. He has bonuses built in. This is base salary now. He has bonuses built in for goals if he wins the Ballon d'Or, which is basically the MVP.
Yes.
Or he has Champions League success. But the biggest part of this was that he got a signing fee, aka a signing bonus of $100 million up front. $100 million.
Let me tell you a guy who you can't give $100 million up front and think I'm gonna come to work. Me, I'm at the crib.
Don't block your blessing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you that $100 million you would never. Where you at? At the crib. Post it. Nah, you gonna pay me another $1 million a week? I'm probably going to work.
So this is similar to like Deshaun Watson with the with the Falcons, right? So Real Madrid is the Falcons. They thought they had him in the bag. They had the same amount of money, where it's basically $30 million euros around for 5 years, where PSG gave him $50 million for 3 years. So it's the same amount of money, but the difference was Real Madrid tried to give him only. They did not offer $100 million or $130 million at the signing bonus. So that's why he picked to stay at PSG. Total, this is probably one of the richest deals in all of sports history, because in soccer, when you do deals and you get players from other teams or they keep players, they also have to pay the other contracts out before they get the new contracts. You can't just trade the contract, and you have to pay that team as well. So Monaco if he renewed his contract with PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, they had to pay $35 million to Monaco. They also had to pay $136 million transfer fee, and they were on the hook between fees and contracts for 629 million euros. So you multiply that by 1.25, you get $750 million.
You're looking at damn near billion. $750 million.
$750 million for one player.
My only request, Mbappe, if you can find it in your heart, I will really appreciate a pair of Jordan 5 PSGs. It's one of my favorite kind of novelty sneakers. Most people haven't seen them nor really can identify them. But if anybody could get me a pair of PSG 5s, I would greatly appreciate that. One thing that we always say around here, kick ass and secure bags. Black man, please get paid, and get paid a little bit more. We support you in all of this. That's it. That's all I got.
It's wild.
A pair of PSGs.
He's 23 years old. Let's say he's turning 24 this year. He'll be 27 when his next contract comes up. He has a chance to go down as the highest paid footballer of all time.
Hey, man. At least going to... Nope, I'm not going to say that till it happens. Boy, you looking at it. You might be at like $1 billion. Like,
by 30.
Like LeBron.
By 30, he'll be at $1 billion.
Yeah. LeBron and KD, they're going to be like well into they'll probably be like maybe at least mid. Well, I guess LeBron is 36. So if I'm 36, he's got to be like 37. And I'm not sure if he's all the way at $1 billion, but it'll probably be 40 before he gets there. KD around the same time. He gonna get to $1 billion a whole 10 years earlier. I don't think I'm buying the most ridiculous things if I have $1 billion and I'm 27, 28.
Come on, man. There's not much that. Well, yeah, okay. At 27, 28, I say there's not much that Mark Cuban can buy that he won't be able to buy. $1 billion, $2 billion, and $4 billion ain't too much of a difference. You can buy pretty much anything.
Yes. Now the $4.7 billion that Mark Cuban has is impressive, but he's also Mbappe.
Yeah, he ain't gonna have no expenses.
You're not a. In respect to Mark Cuban, you're not a one name guy. Nope. You are Mark Cuban. This is Mbappe. I didn't know his first name until you put it up there on the screen. Didn't need to. First name M, last name Mbappe. That's it.
Kylian Mbappe. So shout out to him, man. And he knew he was gonna get paid. As soon as he showed up on the scene. Oh man.
Can we put this in Black History Month?
We can. I want to. The only thing that I wish he got.
Y'all won't serve him no damn Juneteenth flavored ice cream. He slap me with that shit. I will purchase you, you lowly human. Try to serve me Sam Walton's ice cream.
Matter outside the United States, but you're right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Splash Cast. End of Saturday morning. I'm sorry, Monday Night Raw. I'm tired, man. End of Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all for joining us, man. If we haven't missed anything, man, Norwood, take us out.
Man, this has been a fantastic episode. Episode 57. This episode is one of the unique episodes that has actually been sponsored. Shout out to Great Value Brand Ice Cream.
I was like, you did sponsorship. You ain't let me know.
Yes, this has been sponsored by Great Value and their Juneteenth flavored ice cream. Please go to your local freezer section at Walmart and find it, take a picture, and show us that it exists. I believe that this is a myth very similar to the Harriet Tubman whatever bill they lied and told us that she was going to be on.
The $20 bill that she was going to be on, or the quarter,
seen, whatever it is.
Joe, nope. It's not a political podcast. Go ahead.
Get on out of there. So I want to, number one, this is a fantastic episode. I've enjoyed myself. Reggie, it looks like we've kicked ass again, had another podcast, and I see you starting. I see we're starting to pick our sides on Luka and Trey. I think that's very interesting how things will proceed going forward.
I don't say about pick sides. I just think you're a Luka apologist, and you give him all of the excuses for the same problems that Trey has.
Who needs 40 points and 10 rebounds? Can't win with that.
Obviously, you cannot. 3-0.
Boy, if you don't see them sorry ass bums, he dragging along. Ragtag. He playing out there with the little rascals. Now I could not think of them for the life of me. But yes, you probably can't win with Alfalfa and Buckwheat. But with that said, this has been another episode. This is let me think. Number 1, more Black baseball.
Pause. So before we get there, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at The Splashcast. Follow us on Twitter at _ The Splashcast. Follow us on Facebook at The Splashcast with Reggie Norwood. Like, subscribe, and support our page. YouTube, The Splashcast, or Dive Team Media. You can also follow us on Spotify at The Splashcast with Reggie Norwood for the podcast page for your music, which you're listening to now, the Splashcast 12-pack. You can do the Splashcast, just the Splashcast. If you want to reach out to us, we do brand partnerships, especially during our transitions. We would love to highlight some small businesses and black-owned businesses. Reach out to us at diveteammedia@gmail.com. Go ahead.
Okay, back. Number 2, more Black cowboys and cowgirls. Number 3, and y'all know which one this is. The historically Black college and university that you graduated from. Make sure you take a little small envelope, put some money in that, send that to the college that gave you an education. Number 2, the historically Black college and university that is in your neighborhood. Go by there, support their school events, support their sports teams, and put some money in an envelope and drop it off to them. And to the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University, the real HU, the only HU, the Pirates by the Sea.
The Pirates by the Sea.
Take everything that you have.
Everything.
Out of your checking, savings, 401k, money in your sofa, that jar of change that you have. Take that money, you send all of it to Hampton University, and of course you put care of the Splashcast, because we are the advocates for the historically Black college and university across the world. Send your money over there,
Craig,
and we'll be more than happy to, sign the check. We sign autographs, we do all of that, but we appreciate your support. And then number 4, because we are manifesting things, because everything that we say here at the end of the show happens to come true. I am looking to hit the lotto for $50 billion. And then at that point, we will actually have a channel. We will have the Splashcast channel. And it will be me and Reggie at his house.
With a lot
taping podcasts every day. And all we would do is just sit and play video games and talk about sports.
$50
and
billion,
with that said, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Nope, nothing else. Can't tell nothing else. Nothing else. But with that said, we have burned the midnight oil. Reggie has gotten his ass kicked all day at work, and we still came here and gave you what you needed. We gave you what you needed. We always going to support our historically Black colleges and universities. If you know somebody who went to one, share our podcast so that they know that they can come here and get more historically Black college and university information on sports. And now that I've covered that, I've drank my crown. There's only one thing for me and you to do now. What's that, Reg? Hang out.
Hang out.
We out
Y'all
this
stay
joint.
safe,
Adios,
man.
mi
We outta here.
amigos. God is love. And of course, like I told you before, if you go by Walmart and can find Juneteenth ice cream, take a picture, tag us. We'll put you on the Instagrams.
Love y'all, man. Peace. Y'all stay safe.
making for scat packs. Just hit a lick and pulled out from the Hellcat. All this smoke pressure, the bitch, you can smell that. Turn the 2-8, 2 or 3 with a scale at 8. Need bows, we gon' wrap it and mail that. Just put a 4 in the poppin' and fell back. Giving them trouble, they like where they help at. These niggas pussy, they twat, they big cat. Big racks all on his head and they kidnap. Ayy, no cap, this shit here, big facts. Kicking in doors at the kickback, get back like. Run them pockets, let me get that. Ayy, 30 shots with 100, come with me. Wasn't proving no points, so we hit them with 60. Crib Street still screaming R.I.P. Nipsey. I come from the Grove, but the knife niggas with me. Ayy, 600, that shit kinda in me. I jumped off the porch to the block in the trench. I'm rocking designer, this Glock in my brick. It's the bitch from the back, nigga, buy some inches. 6 days and 6 nights, we was out on the mission. On the 7th, we seen them and caught them and flipped. Only right that we hit everybody that's with them. I've been causing hell ever since I was little. I can make a bitch shit like I'm Dr. Doolittle. Don't reach for this chain, tell your ass to a noodle. Yeah, I missed the trouble, I thought that you knew.